Welcome. This is the first episode of Let's Change Our Mind, the podcast, and I am super excited to finally get in this because I have thought about it for such a long time. And actually, this is me deconditioning from some old limiting beliefs, and that's exactly what we're doing in here. So the podcast is about bringing tools to you that are helping you to decondition from societal rules, from things that no longer serve you, from maybe beliefs that have helped you in the past but that are not beneficial to you now, and you just haven't become aware of them, or maybe you have become aware of them but you haven't been able to decondition from them. So what we're doing here is that I'll introduce you to all kinds of energetic and spiritual and mindset tools that I've gathered along the years that helped me to overcome some of my biggest blocks, still help me very much. And I'm sharing alongside with you my journey of becoming more of who I really am, becoming more on purpose, more on point, more authentic, and more well in general. There's just a much bigger sense of well-being when you're able to present yourself towards yourself and also towards the world exactly how you are. Hello beautiful, my name is Anna and I am your host in this Let's Change Our Minds podcast series of empowering ourselves, of becoming who we really are. And I'm super excited to share all the knowledge with you. So I started the first episode with something general, with something that we all are struggling with, and that are old beliefs, limiting beliefs around our self-worth. And if you know me a bit, then you know what I'm talking about, because I have had such a struggle in like almost all my 36 years here on this earth now with feeling of low self-worth, self-doubt, shyness, all these I want to hide under a rock feelings, lots of fear and anxiety coming up in my early years. And I'm still kind of recovering from that, but compared to where I've started my journey, I have just learned so much, and I feel so much more freedom to be myself and to be in inner peace, that I'm now following my spirit guides' nudges to share everything that I've gathered so far in terms of knowledge, in terms of experience, in terms of tools and exercises that helped me to really move on, to grow and to outgrow my own mind prison. Because I think that's something that we mostly have unaware in our subconscious. And actually when you become aware of how much you make your own prison, not other people, not the world, not the politics, not your parents, not whoever the system you're in, educational wise or job wise, it's you. It's you who is making the most imprisoning feeling in your life. And that's a hard pill to swallow. So that's why I want to talk about it first session here, because that is where everything's begin. Everything begins with you becoming aware that you are the one in charge. You are the star of your own movie, as Bob Proctor, who initiated me to this kind of knowledge, always said, you are the star of your own movie. You're also the scriptwriter, the director, the assistant, everything, but you are the star as well. And if you're listening to this and if you're a bit like me, then you might have such a hard time to believe and embrace the fact that you are a trophy, that you are a prize, that your worth is limitless, and that you actually should be the person cheering yourself up the most, not the least. So all this self-doubt, all these critical inner voices that we have, all these limiting beliefs, all these, oh, I can't do that because, or I'm like this because, and I can change because. all these cause and effect things, yes, of course, they're logically explainable, but is it really true? Is everything that's logically explainable really true? And does it need to be true for you? In my experience, it does not. So let's talk about some of the limiting beliefs that we are ready to shift right now. And we're like in the biggest collective consciousness shift on earth. So why are we still holding on to that old shit? Why are we still holding on to the things that have kept us in our own prison for our lives, essentially? I feel this topic is nothing that we can discuss in such a short amount of time. And actually, that's also not the question that I want to answer right now, although it's an interesting one. And I'm sure I will come back to it. But for now, what can you do to decondition yourself from limiting beliefs? That might be shyness, that might be low self-worth, that might be you not encouraging yourself to do the things that you in kind of way know that you should do, that will bring you forward, that will bring you more peace, more joy, more expansion, more well-being. And you kind of know them. You're not stupid, you're really, really sharp, you're really intelligent, so you know what you should do, but you're not doing it. Your subconscious program, your paradigm, if you will, is holding you back. And it's holding you back for a long time, most likely. So what are we going to do about this? For me, the first of 3 steps that I'd love to share in this first episode are you becoming aware. Because it's not natural that we are aware of things like this in a society like the one we are living in right now. So you becoming aware that there are some limiting beliefs that you can challenge, that you can overcome, is the first big thing. And actually, like, you might have this voice in your head right now, like, oh yes, okay, becoming aware, oh, such a big deal. Well, I know this doesn't feel like you already accomplished something, and I know that for myself, it's like, okay, well, I'm aware, and what next? So we tend to not honor this first step. That's why I'm particularly emphasizing it, because it's still the most important one. It's like, how does everything you see in front of you come to life? It's come to life by an idea, and the idea is in the head of someone else. And it's through manifestation that this idea, this like formless energy, this thought, comes into something physical, something tangible, something that you can use, buy, have fun with, whatever it is, from I'm looking at my laptop to the cup of coffee next to me. It doesn't matter, but it has been an idea in the first place. And so the awareness of you being able to change and of you being willing to change is the first step. When we cover this, then we go to the more practical steps, and I know that's the thing that you want to have most dearly so that you can start the change. And the first practical step that I want to introduce to you is energy work. Is you telling your body that it's safe. Because from a safe space, from a safe system, from your body feeling safe, your subconscious feeling safe, you can A, let go much more easily, and B, co-create with the universe much more easily. The moment you are in a safe space, your body and your mind and your soul recognize that you are in a safe space, you can breathe out. There is this feeling of, I can release, and that's exactly what we want to do. We want to release the old limiting beliefs. We want to release the stuckness, the negative energy, the low vibrations, whatever you name it. We want to release. So the releasing process through energy work is like immensely easy, and that's why I want to introduce it, because it just does not take much time. It's not complicated, and it is really, really potent. So I'll introduce you to some energy exercises, and if you want them in video form because that's easier for you, because you're a visual, then you can check out my Unleash Your Potential program, where I have them all recorded on video as well. But for now, like, use your imagination and try out, if you have a safe space to try out and you're not driving right now, try out some of these exercises and check in how you feel before and afterwards. The first exercise to release stress from your body and to calm your body down is calming the triple warm meridian, which is governing the fight or flight response in our body, and which is the one that is most overactive in our society because we're constantly under stress, pressure, anxiety, or fear. So the triple warm meridian, to calm down, we go tended backwards with our hand. Our hands are electromagnetic, as a whole body is, and within the hand chakras, we can activate them by just opening and closing our hands a few times, and then you take your right hand and go to your temples, go next to your eyes, to this beautiful place where we mostly kiss our children, and go there, hold your hand there, and then go under your ear, go behind your ear, under your ear, down your neck, and down your shoulder, down your outside of your arm until you reach the ring finger. And you do that 3 times. After you've done that in your own pace, you switch sides, and on the other side with the left hand, go over the right temple, behind the right ear, on the right side of the neck, the right shoulder, the right arm, outside line of the arm, and down the right ring finger. And as I'm doing this with you, I feel already more calm, more peaceful, and more aligned, and I want to sigh. So that's a good sign. This is you telling your body it's safe. So whatever comes next, your body is much more open to release and much more open to receive. And as we in our body systems, the systems that host our soul, are kind of receivers, energy receivers and energy radiators, this is exactly what we're here for, and this is exactly what we want to do. So do this as often as you need to calm down in almost any situation where you have your hands free. There have been days where I have done this 20 times a day, and actually there's nothing mattering with it. If you do it in the evening, then you might get tired, which is nice because you can sleep a lot easier when your fight and flight response is not on. Oh, well, yeah, that's not surprising, but that's so true. So this is the first energy exercise to calm down and get some of the stress out of your system. The next exercise that I want to present you with is some sort of affirmation, but you're doing it in front of a mirror. It's called mirror work, and it's really, really, really potent for both release and receiving. And actually it just goes like this. You go in front of a mirror, close the door if you can, if you don't have small children, you follow you everywhere, and take some moments of privacy and look yourself in the mirror. You can only look at one eye at a time, so if you can, then do both eyes. But start with one if it feels strange, or maybe even uncomfortable at the first time. Look deeply into your eye, really focus on yourself, and then tell yourself everything that you want to believe, everything that you want to be true. So this is both, as I said, release and receive stage, and you can tell yourself everything. You can tell yourself, it's so easy for me to let go of the shyness. It's so easy for me to feel confident. It's so easy for me to be myself. I have such an easy time communicating authentically. I have such an easy time doing shadow work, releasing stuff that I don't want to have in my life anymore. It's so nice for me to be myself. Things like this, say them to yourself in the mirror. It takes only a minute or two, or if you're really motivated, then a few minutes. But any way, how long you take it, it's very, very, very rewarding, and it installs these statements much faster and much more easy than normal stated affirmations would. So the mirror work is really potent, and put in all the feelings you want to feel. So if you say those things to yourself, then really also focus on how you feel. if you would believe them, if you would believe in your own self-worth, in your own self-confidence already. Good, that's the mirror work. And the last practical stuff that I want to introduce you to today is something that I've learned from Abraham Hicks, and it's called segment intention. And this really is a very practical step that you can do multiple times a day. And it essentially is setting intentions, but for very, very small segments of your day. So instead of like waking up and having a morning routine where you set an intention of, look, I want this day to be like easy and I want to be happy, which definitely is true, but which is very general. And we are here to manifest the ideas and visuals from our head into life. But with the statement of, I want to be happy, how does that look like for you? If you don't have a crystal clear picture of what I want to be happy looks like for you today, then it's very hard to manifest that. And that's where segment intention comes in, because we are breaking down your day into very, very, very small segments. And for the people who don't like to plan or who don't like to outline their day so specifically, or maybe they even can't due to the nature of their work or family life, then segment intention is just really beautiful, because you're only focusing on the next segment. And a segment can be anything that you define as a new part of that day. So you can do a segment when you're at home in the morning and getting ready. Then the next segment is you going to work. Then the next segment is you being in your office. And the next segment is the meeting that you have, and so forth and so on. And you can also do this much smaller. So I'm now in my living room. I can say like every door is a portal, and every time I go to a door, then it's a new segment. So if I'm going downstairs to my sleeping room, then that's a new segment. Or if I go to the bathroom, that's a new segment. Or now if I go to fetch up my son from kindergarten, then that's of course a new segment. But you can make them as big as small as you want. Every new email could be a new segment, every new phone call that you have to make. And for each of those segments, however you define them, you state how you want to feel. What your expectation, what your desired outcome is. So for the next segment, I want to commute safe to my work. I want to have like an easy, fun drive in my car. I want to feel calm and confident when I go into my work. I want to feel productive when I'm there. And you're stating that every time you're going to do that next thing. So me going up, picking my things, and then going downstairs to go out would be the segment where I'm saying, like, while I'm doing this, while I'm picking my things up and going downstairs, I would say like, okay, well, for this next segment, I'm intending to travel safe to where I want to go, and I want to have fun there. And in my next segment, then I say like, okay, now I'm going through this door to my office, then I want to feel productive, and I want everything to be easy and light and inspirational, and yes, whatever it is. And so you're going about your day with this heightened awareness of how everything should look like. If I'm sitting with a friend in the evening having dinner or a glass of wine, then my segment intention would be something like, I want this to be fun. I want to see what they will tell me. I want to be really present. I want to really get out as much as I can from this. And also, I want to be a very good friend. I want to be a good listener. I want to support them in every way I can. And making yourself aware of what you actually want in this small segment that's coming up for you right now is super potent, because it's some kind of an order that you send to the universe. It's like you ordering a coffee, or, I don't know, a cappuccino instead with oat milk and a sprinkle of cacao on top. However specific you want to get, you are ordering something. And by setting this intention so deliberately, you're telling the universe what you want to order, which is just so impactful. Want you to try it out. And yeah, That's the 3 things that I want to start this podcast with right now. So to recap, the first thing, to release limiting beliefs and to really start deconditioning and coming back to who you really are, to your authentic self, is number 1, energy exercises to release, like the triple warmer exercise to calm down your fight, flight, stress response. Then the second thing is installing new belief and releasing old ones through mirror affirmation work, where you stand in front of a mirror and say the things to you that you want to believe. And the third thing is the segment intention, where you'll deliberately order what you want the next segment of your day to be like. Be as specific as you can. Be as playful as you can. And be as curious as you can, because there is things coming up if you are on that level of awareness that you are not noticing if you're not. So be curious about the magic of life. Thank you so much for listening. I'm super excited to see you on the next episode, and have a beautiful time until then. Much love.